Hello, friends. You know what I love most about autumn? In Canada, we call it fall, but it's autumn, and I don't want to confuse anybody. It's toque season. It's freaking chilly today, so I had to put a toque on and a denim shirt and a toque, so I'm happy. I'm still wearing like Birkenstocks and a toque. I'm so Canadian. How's everybody feeling today? That full moon kicked my butt, so hopefully everybody out there is feeling okay. If the weekend took you down, start fresh. I know from my experience over the weekend, I had some negative self-talk come up that I hadn't heard forever, some things come into my existence that I wasn't okay with, but I sat with myself. It's all about quieting the mind and coming back into the self space. And you know what? We can recreate anything in our lives, honestly. But it's about the balance. Is it worth recreating? And this is what I talk to my clients about when people want to recreate things or they want to just create from scratch. It all starts in our mind. Always has, always will. That being said, is it worth your time? Is it worth it to you? Do you recreate something or do you start fresh? And that's we gotta weigh the good and the bad, the ugly and the not, and the beautiful, because honestly, you can recreate anything. You can recreate yourself. It's like baking cookies, right? You can put the ingredients in, but you have to lovingly stir that, but not over stir it, and you have to bake it properly. And when things are out of balance, it's not gonna come up properly. Sorry, my cat wants to be in. Hey Willow, are you saying hi? Giving some kisses, some kitty kisses. But yeah, we're coming into this eclipse season, the October eclipse season, and the veil is super thin. Like, I'm not super clairvoyant. I don't have a lot of clear seeing. It's not my gift. I'm very clear. I feel and I hear. I'm a channel. Sorry, my cat. But the last few weeks, I have been seeing things again, more so than usual. So this is a really good time of year when we can lean into our intuitive gifts and work with them because they're there. But one thing I've learned with intuition is that if we're holding a lot of limiting beliefs, that can cloud our intuition, and we can hear things and see things that may not be intuition. It may be ego warning us or trying to, wave all the red flags, and then we'll create that in our reality, right? So everything comes down to assumption, what you believe, the mirror effect. I had somebody in my other community sort of fighting me on something I posted today, which is totally fine, to each their own, and just being real victim about life. And that's okay. If you're in that space, I love it. I love you wherever you are, and you should love you wherever you are. But this person was fighting me. I was trying to be super neutral and super kind, and I was being called dismissive and rude and all these things. And I'm like, how's that working for you? And I didn't say that because that probably would have been taken as snarky. And I posted an article, a really good article about how we have to work within ourselves to change things around us. And then this person posted an article saying, F the law of attraction. And I'm like, I'm not even talking about the law of attraction. I'm talking about psychology 101 here. Honestly, you're not going to go and I've used this analogy before, but you're not going to go when you're looking in the mirror doing your makeup as a woman or anything on your face, you're not going to go put the lipstick on the mirror. You're going to put it on your face, right? You're not going to put your eyeliner on the mirror. You're going to put it on your face. And when we project out onto others and others project onto us, that's ultimately what we're doing. But knowing who we are, how we feel, how we sit in ourselves is that power. Just knowing and sitting with that and trusting. Surrender is such a powerful thing sometimes. When you feel you're at your wit's end in a situation, surrender it. Let it go. Let it the F go. And ask for the guidance. Ask it and start to, have the conversation, have the knowing in your head of how you want it to be. And ask yourself, is this worth my time? Is this worth my energy? Chances are, no, it's not. But what is worth my energy? Who am I? How would the version of me on that timeline, in that dimension that has exactly what I want, how would they be feeling? because this situation wouldn't be going on. And that's a really good way to calm yourself and bring yourself back to your divinity. Because that version of you, that king or queen, emperor or empress, wouldn't be rattled by something. And that's what I had to tell myself today when this person was pushing back on me. Because I'm like, this is, you know, I don't like to say the universe tests us, but it brings things into our existence where, you know, before I would have been like, oh my gosh, I would have been almost like upset that I hurt somebody's feelings, or maybe, you know, a little triggered by it. But I'm like, oh my gosh, I just actually felt bad because I'm like, and I felt like saying, how's that working for you? But I didn't. I zipped my lip because sometimes the words aren't worth it, because it's like fuel on a fire, right? But it all comes back to self. And when you find yourself being a martyr, don't do that. When you find yourself getting bitter, don't do that. This is when it's really important to surrender to what is, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, and just be like, okay, I'm going to journal, or I'm going to create in my mind what it is I want to be, what it is I want this situation to be. And I'm going to sit with it, because honestly, all of us go through challenging times. And I use that word loosely because it's our perception, and it's all about how we approach the situation that we're in, you know, how we deliver ourselves, how we speak to ourselves. But when we catch ourselves not being that version, you know, I caught myself a couple times on the weekend and I'm like, why am I diminishing who I am? This is baloney. Like, this is absolute baloney. If I heard my kid talking about themselves like this, I would give them crap and be like, in a kind way and loving way, I'd be like, no, you're awesome. You know, if I heard my best friend talking like that, I would be like, stop it. Like, why are you being like this? But sometimes we're so self-deprivating to ourselves, to our own hearts. We need to come back to center and take accountability for what we've thought, for our actions, for our words, not in a way that's shameful or guilt-ridden, but in a way that is loving and compassionate and kind and beautiful and graceful, and that essence of who we are. Because it's all about grace and essence, right? It's all about grace and essence. It always is. And if you hit a speed bump, pick yourself up. You got this. Dust yourself off and move forward. And know that this is a rocky road right now. Like, the next few weeks are most likely going to be chaotic, very chaotic, with the eclipses coming in. And with this Aries full moon that we just went through, we all know, you know, those of us who loosely know astrology, or who very well know astrology, understand that Aries is so fiery, like so fiery and fighty, and you might feel a lot of that coming up. But like, calm yourself, put that fire out, you know, have it slow burn and get back into that flow state. You know, I'll give a great analogy. We played a show on Friday. And the first couple songs, I'm nervous, right? You get up there and you're like, oh my God, I don't want to screw up. I'm thinking of the chords. And then it's like it clicks. Anybody who is a creator of any kind or does something, you're still thinking, but you flip yourself into that flow state. And it's beautiful. Anyway, I'm going to go. I hear my son coming home, the garage door opening. I hope everybody's having a beautiful evening, sending lots of love, and have a great one. Bye.